Good evening, dear professor. It is a pleasure for me to be here once again in your classes. I am going to show you my ID. Okay. The systematic nature of language. I chose this particular image because it shows interconnected knots that symbolize the different elements present in language. So to begin with the presentation, I'm going to start with a question. What is a system? A system is a set of interconnected elements that work together to form a more complex whole. The characteristics of a system include interdependence, organization, and purpose. In the case of interdependence, the elements are interconnected and influence each other. In the case of organization, elements are arranged according to rules and also patterns. And in purpose, the system functions as a whole again to achieve some specific goals. Now let's talk about the language as a system. Language operates as a system with interconnected levels and rules. In the levels of language, we have phonetics, or phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. In the case of phonology, it's basically about sounds, the sounds of a language. Morphology is about the formation of words and how they can vary. The syntax is how a sentence is structured. The semantics is about the meaning of words and also sentences. And the pragmatics is a language used in a specific context. In the interdependence of levels, I am going to talk about a specific example with the word unbreakable. The morphology of this word is the prefix is un, the root is break, and the suffix would be able. So then we have unbreakable. The syntax is that it functions as an adjective, for example, an unbreakable bond. And the semantics is that the meaning derives from the combination of morphemes, to not be able to be broken. I am going to continue with another example. In this case, I have here a sentence that says, the cat sat on the mat. In the case of the syntax, the subject is cat, the verb is sat, and we have a prepositional phrase which is on the mat. In the case of the semantics, we have a meaningful arrangement of words conveying an action and also a location. The pragmatics, in a children's book, this might be a very simple statement, a very simple sentence, but maybe in a mystery novel, it can be or it could be a clue. The rules in a language. In this case, we have three different rules. The number one is grammatical rules that govern the combination of words and phrases, for example, subject-verb agreement. Next, we have phonological rules that govern the pronunciation of sounds. For example, the aspiration of P in the word pin. And we also have the semantic rules that govern the meaning of words and how they combine. For example, the antonyms and also the synonyms. Consequences of the systematic nature. Creativity, ambiguity, and language change. The number one consequence is the creativity. We can create and understand an infinite number of sentences using just a finite set of rules and elements. The ambiguity is that sometimes the system allows for multiple interpretation of the same sentence. And a language change is that the system is dynamic and it evolves over time with changes in one level affecting the other levels. In conclusion, understanding language as a system is crucial for three main things. Number one is the language acquisition. Children unconsciously learn the system. Number two is the language teaching. Teachers can present language systematically. And number three is the linguistic analysis. Researchers can study the different levels and they can also study their interactions. These are my references. I hope you like my presentation and I'm open for your further comments. Thank you very much, Nina.